Another day, another video of me showing up. What's up, rich lifers? Yo, let me tell you, I made 2 friends in 2 days. And a lot of the times when we become adults, friendships can become more challenging. And they can become more challenging because we have expectations of people that they, one, never agree to, but also that we're looking from our perspective as the adults that we have become. And so we expect people to think the way we do. We expect people to move the way we do. We expect people to show up the way that we do. But no, you just have to show up as yourself, for yourself, and those who are aligned to you will come into your sphere. I remember years ago I read a book by Zig Ziglar. I feel like it was either Zig Ziglar or Jim Rohn. This was years ago, y'all. And I used to talk about having friendships. And so having friendships looks like, he's like, you have to go out into the world to be a friend in order to have friends. If you're going out into the world and you're like, everybody's jealous of me, everybody's hating on me, and you have this narrative that you continue to tell yourself, that's no different than the narrative that you're telling yourself about your dreams, about being financially stable, about being financially abundant. The narrative that we tell ourselves is going to be the perception that we create. Now, are things outside of our perception that we create true? Yes, all of it is true. It's just, what are you going to choose to believe in? I believe that there are an abundance of women who live abundant and prosperous lives. There is an abundance of women who love themselves. And when you get to this point, you have a different understanding of what friendship should be and what it should look like. Friendship isn't about dumping all your feelings and emotions onto others or having people to cry to. Not that you shouldn't, but it's not just an emotional support person. It is a person that you're walking alongside in their life, not romantically, but platonically. It's people who you can have depthful conversations with. And so these 2 women specifically, I felt like my youngest daughter when she's like, oh, I made a friend. I was like, well, how you make friends? And she was like, well, I saw this girl outside playing and I just went up to her and I was like, do you want to be friends? And now we're friends. And they are still friends to this day. And so as adults, we don't necessarily do that because we have grown to have, I would say, a healthy amount of skepticism. And so in us having this healthy amount of skepticism, it's kind of like, all right, am I rocking with you? Like, okay, what kind of person are you? Now, this is important. These are the skills that children have to develop. But what happens is we develop these skills, and instead of using them and using the skepticism, we just apply all. We apply it all. And so it looks like watching people, allowing shit to unfold. And the first time someone shows you something and it rubs you the wrong way, believing it instead of staying in the participation of wanting to see what actually is going to happen. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like we go into these friendships and you're like, you feel something is off, but then you don't take action on that. You don't always have to address things. You could just reposition yourself because, again, boundaries are for you and never for others. So anyway, the friend that I made, one of my homeboys in the gym was like, oh, like, I want you to meet somebody. And he's like, yeah, she does Pilates, etc., etc. And I thought that she could be a potential client. And so as I'm talking to her, I'm like, you are just so dope. I'm like, body is tea. And I love, like, just her aura was everything. And so what happens is we see how someone looks, we see their aura, we see their beauty, we see what's radiating from the inside out, and you allow it to impact you in a way that doesn't serve you, rather than feeling the love that the person has for themselves and how it's radiating out to you. And so this is what happens to me a lot. I mean, I shared this in the last video when people are like, oh, you're intimidating because you sit there. So because I'm sitting here minding my fucking business, I'm intimidated. Because I'm sitting here happy, twiddling my thumbs, jamming to my own music and my own vibes, I'm intimidated. Make the shit make sense. Like, you can't make this shit up. But then you realize, like, here in the West, loving yourself is not something that's familiar. And I remember when I came back from Africa, I studied abroad in Africa. That's where I met my soul sister at. And when I came back, I had so much self-confidence, so much love for myself. I was feeling myself. I was like, oh, my melanin is popping. Like, I love, and I was all chocolatey, y'all. I was in the sun. I was like, yes, I am a melanin goddess. Like, I was feeling myself. And then I remember this older black woman was like, you ain't in Africa no more. You need to humble yourself. You're arrogant. You're this. People will interpret your confidence as arrogance. And it's your responsibility to understand that that's their projection. Especially arrogance is to the harm of others and the harm of yourself. Confidence is to your benefit and the benefit of others. But if people translate and perceive your confidence as arrogance and you're not doing anything except existing, that's everything to do with them. Now, here's where the arrogance comes in. Where somebody, you got to compliment somebody, but you got to tell them about yourself too at the same time. You got to offer information to people unsolicitedly based on the information that you're growing into and the knowledge that you're applying to your life. No one fucking cares. If you walk through this world understanding that you are responsible for you, you are on this individualized path. These women that I'm connecting to, the friendships that we get to develop is going to be so uniquely unfounded. And so basically, I'm like talking to her and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, I live in abundance. We're talking about frequency. We're talking about matriarchy. We're talking about being centered in ourselves, being self-centered women, because that also gets a bad rap. Like, oh, you're self-centered. Self-centeredness is what we're all supposed to be. You're supposed to be focused on yourself, but we take the self-centeredness and translate it into the negative aspect, the undergirding aspect of we don't care about other people. Being centered in yourself doesn't mean that you don't care about other people. It means that you prioritize yourself. It means that you're not going to neglect yourself for the sake of other people. And I was explaining to her, I'm like, I just love it. And so I'm like, as a mom of 3 girls, I'm absolutely first self-centered, and I'm absolutely teaching my children to be self-centered. So in the mornings, I'm not like that old school mom or somebody that's like, oh, my kids got to come speak to me first. No, wake up, say your prayers, speak some gratitude, do some affirmations, recite a scripture, recite something, love on yourself, then come holler at me. Prioritize yourself, child, and then come holler at your mom. Me going to the gym, me optimizing my health and my fitness and my wellness journey, and so that my children don't have to think about me as they're adults. That's how selfish I am. That's how self-centered I am, is that I'm thinking about the quality of life that I desire to live as I get to age gracefully. The determination that I have to age gracefully and also demonstrate that to my children, that they can live a fulfilling life. By centering yourself, by choosing yourself, by loving yourself, you're able to serve those that you love. You're able to surrender them to their path. You're able to accept them for who they are without creating and cultivating expectations that they have no ability to fulfill. The expectations that you can only expect, and not even them, is the ones that they agree to. Because even of yourself, you can only expect of yourself to do your best and be your best. And even when you fumble, the question is, did you do your best? Were you honest? Were you being honest with yourself? In what ways are you stagnating yourself? Y'all, so anyway, my friends, because that's what I told you, we just on the phone. That's what I love about these videos. I'm like, oh, I'm not a content creator. I'm not a content creator. I'm just living my life, and I'm sharing bits and pieces of that with you. I don't create content. I live my life, and I share what I want to share. And I want to share that with you in hopes that it will inspire you and empower you to continue living a rich life. That's all this is about. That's what I came here to do. And when you know what you came here to do, when you're living in and on purpose, life becomes so much more enjoyable, so much more effortless. And you see the lessons and blessings in every single thing. You see the opportunities in every single thing. I went to Ulta yesterday. I'm going to get back to my friend's story, but this is how life works. After I finished my Pilates teacher training, I had a client yesterday. So after I did that, I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do? I got time to burn. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to Ulta. And so when I went to Ulta, I just went to go get like one thing. But then I ended up getting, my total came to like $384, y'all. When I left, this is how abundance works. I'm like, oh my God. I expected to spend $25, not $300 something. But anyway, it was good because it wasn't just for me. It was also about my daughter. It's like, okay, wash day is coming. I need some more shampoo and conditioner for my girls. So the lady's like, you got a lot of points. You want to use your points? I'm like, I got points. Okay. It brought my total down to $155. I have a little credit card that I got for $150. I never like increased it or nothing. I got it years ago as I was building my credit, and I just left it $150. This is what I'm going to spend when I go into the store, because if not, then I'm gonna spend $300 or something dollars. But I'm so grateful that I'm in this space where I can do that, right? And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just use my credit. And then she was like, okay, $5.34. I had $5.20 in my purse. Like I had the change, and I'm like, and walked out with my stuff feeling so good, because that's how abundance works. Abundance is a frequency. It's behind, and it's like when you go into your logical mind, but how, but why, and this is what makes sense. This is where this is where you drop off. This is where you get off the high vibrational frequency and you consciously choose to lower your vibration. The how doesn't matter. It just matters what are you deciding to do with your life and your reality. So with the new friend girl that I met at a different gym, because this is why also listening to your intuition matters. As I was going to the gym, I was tired, but I was like, okay, I got to get there because I got yoga today. And I'm like, okay, what gym am I going to go to? What gym do I want to go to? Do I want to go to gym A or do I want to go to gym B? So it was like, go to gym A. I was like, oh, well, gym B is closer. Spirit's like, go to gym A. So I go to gym A, meet this woman. We talking about Pilates. We talking about walking. We're talking about love, self-love, centering self, and abundance. Like, I love talking abundance. I love talking money. I love talking. I just love talking. We get to live our lives. And so I said, yeah, because my next car gonna be a Porsche. I said, that's what I want. I said, I want that. I said, I got that. That's my shit. She was like, a Porsche? She was like, I drive a Porsche. Y'all, when I said I was in there, I was like, thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation. I was like, do you just love it? She's like, I do love it. And now I'm just big smiling. I'm like, yes, Porsche. Yes, Porsche. Yes, Porsche. Yes, Porsche. Yes, Porsche. I'm here. Yes, Porsche. So just loving that. And then like I have another sister friend and she has this luxury BMW sports car, and I'm like, yes. Like I just love this. And then my sister bestie, she got her Cadillac truck, and I'm like, I'm just loving the abundance. I'm loving the abundance. And so I just love it. But we was just talking. She was like, we're going to meet up. We're going to see each other. I'm like, okay, I'm about to go walking with my sis. She booked her Pilates appointment with me in less than an hour after we met. And I'm like, yes, twin. Yes, thank you. And so it's that easy. I'm sharing all of this to say that living life is that easy and effortless. Didn't say it's without challenge, but it's that effortless. But in order for me to get to this point now, I had to surrender what I believe to be true about women. And now, does that mean that it's not true? Yeah, it's still true in that sphere, that reality. But I am now living in this sphere, in this reality, where I no longer participate with the jealous, the cattiness, the envy, and all of that. The moment I see it, I clock it, and boom. And if I'm in an environment where I can feel it, I absorb it as fuel. Like, yes, I'm doing and being what I came here to do, because I'm not here to control these people. I'm here to live my own life. I'm here to be abundant and prosperous in my life. Like, that's pretty much what it's about. Okay. Second friend that I made was this morning at the gym. I went to the gym that I wanted to go to yesterday, but I went to the different one. I was like, okay, I'm going to go to this gym because this is whatever. And so when I was walking, like about to leave, my spirit was like, go to the locker room. Okay, I'm going to the locker room. This woman is about to walk in at the same time. So I was like, oh, I'm like, you go ahead. But she stepped back and she let me go. And I was like, okay, thank you. I didn't really pay no mind, had my music going. But then my spirit was like, pay attention. This is why your intuition is important. This is why your intuition is important. This is why working on your identity of perfectionism, people pleasing, the fragmented, the lost self, the performative self is important, so that you are your whole self everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. In the store, you the same person. At the gym, you the same person. At work, in your business, everywhere you are the same person. You are consistently yourself. This is imperative to live in your desired life. This is imperative. So if you haven't already, grab that freebie, the Identity Fracture Finder, and then get the Identity Reclamation Toolkit at the founding price, $49.99. Because once I release this dopeness, this guide to assist you on your life, to reclaim your identity, whatever that looks like. If you're a farmer that want to be a nurse, or a nurse that want to be a farmer, if you're a speaker that want to be a daycare owner, all the things. There's no limit in your life except the limit that you place on yourself. But anyway, my spirit was like, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. So I looked at her. I was like, oh my God, her body is tea. And then compliments naturally boost your dopamine. It like naturally boosts. If you can give out genuine compliments, if you can give out genuine compliments, I guarantee you, you're going to naturally raise your frequency. If you can give out genuine compliments, you will naturally raise your frequency, because you will understand you don't have to participate in the competition. You can understand that you are simply here to align with yourself, and everybody else is doing what they have to do in their life, in their reality. So I'm like, okay, your body is so tea. I'm like, girl, you look so good. And she was like, thank you. And now we striked it up, and I was like, I love this set. She was like, girl, it is the set. She told me where she got the set from. When I'm talking about us women sharing information, this is where gatekeeping is for those who are not aligned in your frequency. People who are going to take, and there's no reciprocal value. Like, there's no point in sharing information, because they're only trying to find out where you got shit from to tear you down. They're only trying to find out shit about you to poke holes in your life, so that they can break down the image of you that they created in their mind. There's perfect illusionary image that they have of you in their mind. They just simply want to break it down. So that's where it's important to gatekeep and have the spirit of discernment. So anyway, she was like, this is where I got it from, and this is how I wear it, and I love getting it, and it's this, and this. And then I saw she was, a doctor of physical therapy, a DBC. So I was like, oh my God, do I have to call you doctor? I said, I'm going to call you doctor. You just told me your first name. She's like, no, just call me by my name. I'm like, okay, cool. Bet. Then we're just talking. I'm telling her about my yoga stuff. So she's like, yeah, I taught the anatomy class last year. You're going to love it. And she was just sharing so much valuable information with me. And it was just, we just had a conversation that was filled with so much love and abundance, because there's no competition. Now, can you have that with everybody? No, which is why you have to stand in your own power, so that you don't attract the people who don't even resonate with that. Y'all, I did a pinky promise this week. I had a brunch date with my homegirl this week, and I went to dinner with my soul sister bestie, and we just chopped it up. Like, you get to have a healthy, thriving sisterhood, whatever that looks like for you. And did I used to be a loner? Am I a loner? Absolutely. I am, because I live a sovereign life. Living sovereignly doesn't mean you don't have friends. It means that you know how to function interdependently. You know how to be self-sufficient. You are there for community. We are there for community. I'm not around people who are centered in men, or centered in money, or centered in these things, because all of those things are variables. All of those things are variables, yo. So if you want to make friends, you have to go out into the world and be a friend. And you have to be mindful that, okay, are you a trauma bonding person? Do you like to bond over how horrible someone is or something is? then you gotta check yourself before you wreck yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Y'all, okay. I try to keep these videos 20 minutes or under. If you're not on the email list, get on the email list, rich@arichbook.com. You could get the freebie Thoughts to Affirmation to start affirming your life, or get the freebie, the Identity Fracture Finder. I love y'all, love y'all, love y'all, and I'll catch you tomorrow.